Millions of years ago, in the distant geologic past, the violent forces of Mother Nature relentlessly pummeled our little ball of rock. These tremendous forces, applied over the vast passage of time, resulted in the formation of 4 land masses lying only tens of meters above the sea level. This is the story of a dream to fish the best GT destination on the planet. Keith Rose Innes was at the forefront of the first fly fishing expedition to this unique and remote section of the Indian Ocean. In the late 90s, whilst freelancing as a professional fly fishing guide on various atolls in the Seychelles, Keith came across charts of the remote Alphonse Group, and so brought together a group of like-minded personalities who set sail aboard the 110-foot Mike, a journey that would last 6 weeks and would take them all the way to Madagascar. Upon arriving at Cosmoledo and Astove, they found what mostly appeared to be a barren hunk of jagged black rock, which was almost ironically teeming with a diverse array of life, both on land and in the ocean. They were too soon to realize that they had stepped foot on the home of the largest population of giant trevally on the planet. Burnt into their minds was the obvious fact that they had discovered an incredible place, and they would return better prepared.
When we got to the amazing atoll called Astove, we arrived there on the slower tides, which was great. And often on the slower tides, there's always water on the flats. And these GTs are swimming around on rays. And when they're on the rays, they often turn dark. And from a distance, we saw this GT in the surf line. I called Richard, and we headed off after this fish and walked into the water. And you know, they don't move very far. They stay in a similar area. They're feeding on top of the ray. And we waded up to this fish, and I made a nice long cast, and at first didn't see the fly, so I picked it up again. I made another cast out again, and he came. And he almost wanted to eat it, but he didn't want to eat it. So he followed it all the way to the rod tip. So I kind of had to give it like a 2-second pause as he ate the fly. And it was an amazing take. And that was the fish of the trip for me. You know, spotting a fish from so far away, quietly walking up on the fish, making the right cast, stopping the strip when it's the right time, and then striking the fish. It was incredible. And after the whole thing has happened and you finally got that fishing close by, and you pick it up and you hold this trophy up and you look at this amazing fish, you know, the best part about the whole fight is putting that fish back in the water and watching him swim away. I think the main reason why the GTs are at these atolls is the incredible tides. The water can fill up from your ankles all the way to your neck in half an hour. And what happens is that the water fills up from the outside as well as the inside of the lagoon. And when it comes over the apex, it just fills up with incredible speed. And I think that's why the GTs are there. Guiding out to these destinations is not always the easiest job. You know, it's an early morning start, preparing for your day, everyone's sitting around talking about where they're going to fish, putting your skiff in the water, getting all your kit ready for the day, making sure your guests are all ready, getting on the boat, going out for a full day out there, you know, working towards the tides, making sure that you're sticking to your plan, putting your boat in the deep water so that when it gets low tide, you're not getting high and dry and stranded for your next spot. And it's physical. It's a wild environment. It's a dream job, but it's not easy work.
So we've had a great couple of days on Cosmoledo, and it's my turn now to see if I can go and get a big one. So we've anchored the boat up. We decided to do a surf walk. This is where we're going to get our big one. There's lots of food on the flats. There's lots of other signs of GTs around, so we're going to stick it out. And we keep telling each other that it's going to happen. Don't worry, hang in there. Battling over the harsh coral, we saw this big fish come in. I made the shot. He ate the fly, set the hook as hard as you can, doing everything textbook, but the rod came apart. So this is most probably one of the funniest fishing stories I've been involved with. We spotted a nice GT swimming away from us. We jumped off waist deep, running towards it, doing everything that we should do. And I'm pretty confident about this. Make the first shot, not good at all. So bring the fly back, make the second shot, stripping as fast as I can, and the fish turns and he follows it quickly. And I'm stripping and I'm running backwards as well. Now Richard needs to keep up with my pace as well, and there's a big GT attacking us. So I just lost my footing and ended up underwater and tried to give him the fly again right next to me, but he just swam off with his middle fin out the water.
Devon being Cuban, he had a little bit too much rum the night before, so we were a little slow out of the blocks, and we pulled up to the mouth of Astove, got our rods ready, and as we got there, we put the anchor down and we saw two fish coming straight out the mouth, you know, at a hell of a lot of speed. So we looked at Richard and we knew he wasn't going to make it, so myself and Dev jumped out and we started approaching the fish.
I went for the bigger one that was on the left. Keith got the smaller one, and it's sort of a, are you ready? And go. And we put two lines out, two nice long casts, and both fish ate at the same time. It was unbelievable, and they were big fish.
Before he knew it, he had been cut off on the right-hand rock by the so-called bigger fish, and I was lucky enough to hold tight, and I got a GT of 1.5 meters, and it was amazing. It was a great start to the morning, and a start to a day that was going to prove to be one of the best days fishing we'll ever have. Yeah. Nice. Look at that. Over the years of fishing these atolls, we've found out that, you know, the big GTs like to hunt in milky water, and we had the perfect conditions at Astove that day. We had a neap tide where the water wasn't all the way in. We had a pushing tide.
This fish tried to cut us off in the caves. He went right into the. It is sort of the worst place in the world you can think of having a big fish like that.
It's crazy. Oh. Nick, you want to go right in the cave? No!
Look at this guy.
Yeah, 1.50 meters. Yes. What a beautiful fish.
Yeah, the Alphonse Group is without doubt the GT capital of the world. There are more GTs in the area than anywhere else in the Seychelles or anywhere else in the Indian Ocean. For us, this isn't a short-term thing, it's a long-term thing. It's about sustainable ecosystems. There's no human pressure. The fishing is the most amazing fishing you will ever experience in your life. But it's more than that. You know, the beauty overwhelms you every time you go out there. At times when you're fishing, you just need to take a second and stop and just look around you and see where you are. The environment is untouched, it's incredible. We can see you from a mile away, you're sitting on a ray.
Oh.